What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the FTI Podcast, episode 23, I believe. If you would like to support the show, hit us up at buymeacoffee.com/fromtheinfield and visit us on the web at fromtheinfield.com and motorsportsohio.com. If you are a racing fan and you want some great pictures of race cars, we have a lot of dirt racing pictures for sale. I think those are the only ones we're able to sell currently. But check out motorsportsohio.com. Our payment portal is working now. Thank you to everyone, the few people this week who have purchased photos from us. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps us continue doing the work we love and making this dream into a reality and hopefully one day into a career. We're quite a ways away from making it into a career, but making this hobby more than just a dream and more than just something we do on a whim. Thank you to all of our fans and supporters. I think we have 240 some followers on Facebook. Woo! Thanks to all you. Tell your friends. Everywhere you can find us, all social media platforms. It's either at Ohio Motorsports or at From the Infield. We're on pretty much everything. Go tell your friends, follow us. It helps us out. Makes it a little easier for us to get into some events. Eldora didn't say that. But yes, thank you for supporting us. Chris, how have you been? It's been 4 days.
I was
since I've
gonna
seen
say
you.
3 whole days. Yeah, just working really. I'm trying to. There was one thing I forgot to prepare for, and I saw it on Instagram. Now I'm trying to find the Instagram post because, of course, Instagram won't update your feed when you're just scrolling and want to find something.
Oh no,
But
what did I miss on Instagram?
it was from the IndyCar race on Saturday. Who drives the HMD Honda?
Oh, David Malukas?
Okay, then there we go. I know what I was gonna say. But yeah, how have you been since I last saw you?
It's been pretty good. Just gearing up for camping this weekend. Going to Mohican, which for any of you out of Ohio is a little state park area near Mansfield. I actually will be a stone's throw from Mid Ohio, roughly, and we're gonna go and float on the river and drink and have fun and camp. So that should be fun. And I believe you are heading over to our favorite dirt race.
Yeah,
track?
I'll be at Wayne County again this Sunday, not Saturday. It is Sunday this week.
Don't drive out there on Saturday, Chris.
I mean, there might be people there. There's camping this weekend, so
Yeah, you might get some free brats and a beer.
What are you guys doing? It's I started the camera and started talking, so now it's time for the weedy dogs to start wrestling.
Yeah, let me guess, they're perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, they were
all day, and then they're like, "Oh no, he's got the camera on."
As soon as I started talking, and it wasn't to them, and then you see this one creeping right here in the corner. But
is that Newton over there creeping up in the corner?
Yeah, Sunday for the Fast Series, and is it All Stars is at Attica, I think, 2 days this weekend. So there were some people in the Facebook page saying that they were thinking some of the All Stars should be out at Wayne this weekend too to It's a $10,000 to win. So I mean, I don't see why you
that
wouldn't.
should definitely draw some people in.
Yeah, why you wouldn't come out if you're not doing anything Sunday.
Yeah, you don't. Most people don't have to work on Monday, so go on out to Wayne County, watch
and
some
then
good dirt racing, get dusty. I won't jump the gun just yet.
Sharon tonight is doing a Wednesday night show, and I know at least Zeb Wise is out at Sharon tonight. So
Yeah, I know one of a driver that races regularly at Wayne County is there tonight. I think it's Henry Malkett, the number 70, is out there at Sharon tonight. So good luck to all of our Wayne County is basically our dirt home track at this point. So good luck to all of our home track guys that are down there racing. Yeah, we have Mid Ohio is our home track, road course. We got a home dirt track. Currently we don't have a home asphalt track, and we probably won't go to one of those that often. The pictures just they're not that pretty, sadly.
Yeah, there's just not much inspiration at most of them. So yeah, the racing this weekend, start off with IndyCar because it's probably the most unremarkable of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, let's jump. I have to insert an F1 moment because AlphaTauri actually made it onto the podium. So there were 3 different teams on the podium this weekend.
Is that a first for? No, is that a first for this year?
It might be. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, because I feel like it's just been the assorted, or the Red Bulls and then the assorted third place finisher all year.
Oh, let's see here. Formula 1.
Or Red Bull plus Alonso, basically. Most of the.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is their second. Because Ocon got back in May at Monaco, finished on the podium. So it's their second one. That's not bad. Since every other one has, been, well, Max Verstappen's won all but 2 races, and the 2 that he lost were won by his teammate. So yeah, Red Bull's gonna win.
I mean,
I'm sure he already has the championship.
I'll continue to say it. I don't know how anyone watches F1 anymore. I mean, and expects it to be anything exciting or different. Hey, the microphone goes the other way. Did you unplug your microphone?
No, we're good. I was just making sure that I wasn't accidentally turning my gain up, and because I always forget which knob is which on there. I think the bottom one is gain and the top one is headphones, and I didn't want to blow out the audio.
But yeah, F1 sucks.
It does.
We all know my thoughts on that at this point.
And yet people still want to, join and get a team for it. And surprisingly, AlphaTauri is last in points. Is quite remarkable.
There was rumors this week that Alpine was going to sell to Andretti.
Oh,
now I just saw this on TikTok, so
let's I'm gonna Google that.
How reliable TikTok is, but yeah, it was like Alpine was gonna sell to Andretti. Alpine was still going to make their engines, but Andretti was going to buy the or take over the chassis factory, or
I mean, so it does say on here that Helmut Marko wants Andretti to buy Alpine. I don't know if Alpine is for sale by the Renault group. Renault's been in F1 for quite a while, so I don't know if they're wanting to get out of it. But Andretti and Cadillac have a lot of money. You have the and I think they have some big. Don't they have a huge like financial backer?
Yeah,
like the Guggenheim. I think is who it is. So I mean, it's three big major American powerhouses, trying to get a team, and I'm surprised that it just isn't a thing. I don't know why Andretti wouldn't try to buy some NASCAR charters and
I
win.
mean, we can kind of go into that some NASCAR news from this past week, news and rumors that now I think these rumors are 2 weeks old, that 2311 executives were seen the week of the Michigan race leaving Ford Racing headquarters, and that there was rumors flying that because Denny hadn't signed his contract with JGR yet, there had been no updates on the negotiations, that the internet went wild that Joe Gibbs was gonna Kyle Busch Denny Hamlin too, and that 2311 was going to buy one or two of Stuart Haas's charters and become a Ford team, and I'm guessing maybe be a Stuart Haas alliance, or one of Ford's.
Yeah, because aren't there plenty of rumors that Stuart Haas is just trying to get out?
Well, see, that was up until last week, and then listening to the teardown this week, they were saying that no, they're not trying to get out, that they are committed to running 4 cars and 4 charters at least until their deal with Ford is up in 2024. But who knows after 2024? But that's what brought this to my mind, is when you said, why doesn't Andretti just buy the charters? A, no one really has them for sale. And 2, rumors are that the ones that would potentially sell for the right cost is asking price of $40 to $50 million.
I mean, it's worth it if you can win.
Well, I mean, these charters 2 years ago were going for, I think people thought Denny was crazy for paying like $10 million for the second 2311 charter.
Oh, so they've quadrupled.
Yeah, I
over
mean,
the last few years.
Yeah, they went from being worth almost nothing. You'd at least have a parting gift as you closed your team down, instead of just selling off your equipment, to now it being a legitimate franchise, basically, like a sport, your normal sports teams. And with the next gen car, I mean, you could just sell off. You could do what Trackhouse did, and when they wanted to add a second car, they bought out Ganassi. They bought out his team and took over the operation and everything like that.
I mean, it makes sense. Why start new if you can just...
Yeah.
So do they limit how many non-charter teams can compete?
I mean, you can compete all you want. The charters guarantee a higher percentage of the winnings.
Oh, okay.
So it becomes almost silly if you're going to race at the full season to not have a charter than to have a charter. And yeah, whatever I was going. So yeah, you want a charter if you're going to do the full season because of the payouts and the added benefits that come with having a charter. I mean, just knowing you make every race is that important.
Oh, so like if
You
say
wreck during
for like
qualifying.
the Daytona 500, if you
Yeah.
have a charter, you're guaranteed to
Yeah, and
race if your
that'll
car is able to.
get us into the another rumor that Penske Entertainment wants to do a charter system in IndyCar,
Could this backfire?
and
Because
they
I thought the whole thing with the IndyCar split was that the teams wanted control, and that's why the IRL came around. And then now Penske wants to, which Penske should have known this. He was racing and had teams back then.
yeah,
He's not no spring chicken to IndyCar.
yeah, which I mean that would make a guaranteed 22 teams eligible for the Indy 500 every year. So you wouldn't have.
So it would kind of ruin,
It would
the
ruin the whole month of
qualifying.
May.
Yeah. And the,
Yeah, I
if
don't know.
RLL is already, chartered
Yeah.
in, because that would be some crazy crap if RLL didn't get a charter. But there's okay, so all the just the throw-ins have to just compete to
Yeah, it would just be
one of the 33 coveted spots.
Yeah, so you'd have 11 teams out there to get the 33 spots instead of everyone else. That brings another question of Kyle Larson. This won't be next year, but that's a big thing, is will he be able to qualify for the 500?
Yeah, that will be
pretty interesting.
That would be horrible if he
all
doesn't.
This
I made all this rigmarole.
2 years of hype for this, and he doesn't
because
qualify.
he's racing 2024.
Yeah, next year.
So the 1100 would not be happening.
Yeah, so
I don't think he's gonna have an issue with it.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have any issue whatsoever.
That boy can get into any vehicle and just dominate.
So speaking of IndyCar, the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. How did you get to watch any of it?
I seen highlights.
Was it about a 30-second long video? Because
it was. I mean, only the 5. I mean, it was just kind of like Iowa again.
Yeah.
It was a pretty boring race. A few accidents. Peterson, Takuma Sato wrecking. I mean, the usual.
Scott Dixion just saving every ounce of fuel he can for a win.
Yeah, and now I think there's only 74 points between him and Alex Palou with 2 races to go. One of them being this weekend in Portland, and then Laguna Seca in a few weeks. And that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think Palou finished that great this past weekend.
He finished 4th.
Oh, I mean, it's not great for him.
7th.
Oh, that's really bad for him this year. I mean, he's won. Let's see. He's won. Goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the races. I mean,
but
him and Newgarden are tied for how many wins they've had.
You had the top 3. Yeah, they were lapped up to 3rd place this weekend.
Dang.
So I mean, it's a short track and all of that, but it looked mainly a lot of single lane racing, not much too wide or anything like that. But yeah, what I was looking up on Instagram before we started was the Juncos Hollinger car hitting David Malukas' crew member.
Oh yeah,
and he
was
kicks
that
the nose of it.
Canapino?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I saw it on Instagram as we were getting ready to start today, and I was like, "Oh,
I forgot about that.
who was that?" Yeah, I mean, how do you react to that though? Something like that
Yeah, and then
happens.
some of the comments, oh, I hope they charge the guy who kicked the wing. No, the driver for
yeah, right.
running into a crew member. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
And it's not some guy who hasn't, that is a rookie to racing. I mean, he has 15 championships in,
yeah.
Argentinian supercars. Like, he's had to do pit stops before.
Speaking of worldwide technology, though, the fire display on the backstretch is probably one of the coolest things. When they're doing
to look this up,
3 wide salute. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to have on while I was editing pictures from Wayne County this weekend, but I don't know if there was anything very overly exciting about the race.
Not really. Unfortunately, just another mid IndyCar race of the season, and
it's kind of like the NASCAR season where just you get into this slightly dull stretch. Indy road course wasn't anything very exciting. I don't remember much exciting about Nashville.
No, I mean, there was just like at the ending, the red flag at the end.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's just kind of really trailed off. I mean, even at Mid-Ohio, the only crazy thing over the weekend was Simon Pagenaud's wreck.
Well, I think a lot of the times with Mid-Ohio just kind of ends up being meh. We like it because we're there. Yeah. The fans love it there. But
the Indy GP, there wasn't really anything crazy.
I mean, cars on top of each other.
Yeah.
But
just that one that's not even crazy anymore this year. I mean, they're all just flying.
Yeah, I know. I saw earlier you can get like 10% off your McLaren order today.
Oh.
So, that Pato shirt would be like the regular price of the rest of McLaren's things.
Yeah, I don't know how they get away with what they charge for these stuff for Pato. I mean, I get it, he's popular, but geez.
I mean, it would kind of be like
a little pricey.
I mean, you see everyone buying it.
It's like, people are dumb enough to buy it.
It's like, I mean, if Chase Elliott were to charge that much for everything, people would probably still buy it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that is a good. They're pretty much on par with being. I mean, Pato's probably the most popular IndyCar driver right now.
Oh, even without a doubt.
He's, I think it's him, and then probably like Will Power.
Well, I told you my theory. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned it on here. When you go to an IndyCar race, you'll see a lot of teenage girls, especially in Pato jerseys. You'll see middle-aged, our age to middle-aged men, because we're right there on that cusp,
Shut up.
wearing Ray Hall and Sato jerseys.
Yeah, there's tons of Sato jerseys, surprisingly.
And then I don't remember what the kids in
Rossi
jerseys. Yeah. It's like a weird social experiment as you walk
you never
around.
see any like Daly or Lundgaard or anything like that. You know, it's a very I would say you don't really even see Will Power jerseys that much. You'll
Yeah,
see
I mean,
Dixon
a lot of
and
Dixon.
Newgarden. You don't really see any McLaughlin or
I think
anything.
Dixon, if I were to like, just rack my brain real quick, would be like moms.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, he's just a sweet guy.
But
He's been racing for so long. I had a crush on him when I was a young girl." Been raced for like 20 years.
Hey, I mean, that's what, 2 races in a row now. He's been able to save fuel for the win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the odds are. I'm sure IndyCar will talk about it this weekend as the season grinds down, which is so sad. I hate how short the IndyCar season is. It just feels like you're being robbed of more great races.
And this, we got Outlaws, the 23rd, and the last week in September. And, but it all depends right now. September. Say IndyCar.
Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit during that. Yeah, I'm not sure what you
Did you hear anything I said?
It sounded like you were going through a tunnel and cutting out.
Oh, 1 second. I was talking about how our dirt season ends here in a month, less than a month. We've got after this weekend, we've got 3-ish events. World of Outlaws on the 23rd, and then the Dirt Blot at Wayne County the next weekend. And then everything's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really goes here in Ohio past September.
And it's so weird because
races.
October is probably the best weather we get.
Yeah, it's
still
nice.
Fairly warm during the day.
I've been to some that are towards the end of October, and it's pretty damn cold.
Yeah.
Especially at night. I've been to a few races where I've had to have hand warmers, and those aren't too fun to go and watch. But yeah, like early October, I think there's one at Mid Ohio, like second week of October, which I'm actually looking forward to going to Mid Ohio and it not being blazing hot, and hopefully no rain.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, if I'm still questionable about next week. Next week's supposed to be in the 90s during the week. Now, Saturday, it's 80 degrees, but yeah, next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the high is 91 degrees.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like today, it was a high of like 60 some, and pretty chilly out. I was just outside not too long ago, and it was pretty cold comparative to what it's been. And then this weekend it's supposed to ramp back up. And then I guess next week it's going to be blazing hot again in September. It's weird
Ohio for you.
Yeah, Florida's getting hurricanes and we're getting, our fun fluctuating weather. But I mean, IndyCar IndyCar could race. It's more
Oh yeah,
southern. I mean, not Homestead, Miami, not right now.
I think Miami's the clear part of Florida
Oh,
right
is
now.
it?
It hit more north.
Oh, well, I don't know why IndyCar doesn't race at more southern tracks. I
Because
mean, there's
I feel like it's kind of like dirt racing. It is more of a Midwest centered thing.
like there's instead of doing these nice weather ones
Yeah,
in the middle of the year, like why don't they race at Watkins Glen?
yeah,
Or you could do Nashville a little later. It doesn't get as cold in
yeah.
Nashville until like far into winter. But they
Well,
could.
I don't know if we've covered this on here, but next year the championship race is going to be at Nashville.
Oh yeah, so it's going to be closer to mid-September because of the Olympics. So we probably won't have any IndyCar for like 2 weeks.
NASCAR did that during the what would it have been 2020. Moved to 2021. They had a 2-week break, so I mean NASCAR should have their 2-week break again because it's right when it transitions to NBC and everything. So I think they do all the Olympic coverage, so no one's gonna miss the Olympics for NASCAR.
Yeah, and then you have rumors that in 4 more years,
The 2028 games.
yeah, in LA, that they're gonna want to there's talks about putting motorsport as an Olympic sport, which I think is the dumbest idea.
Yeah,
It's we don't need the World Racing Games, it's
well, and then the Olympics with the best athletes, this, that, and the other. What? How do you keep everything fair and this and that? Because I mean, even you watch something like the SRX, there's still a best car every night. There's still that one thing making this much more horsepower.
There's too many variables with racing that you can't do it fairly. You could take a whole bunch of stock Indy lights that came right off, and all of the engines came right from the same factory, were all sealed. They're all gonna still perform different. I mean, who would you even have representing who in the United States would you have represent the United States?
Kyle Larson.
Well,
I mean, plain and simple, it
depends on what it is.
It's Kyle Larson.
And then what? England, would you have Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah.
And then of course Netherlands, you would have Max Verstappen. Mexico, who would you have?
Perez.
Would you have Perez? Would you have Award?
Award would have to get a little more wins first.
Yeah.
Stop finishing second in everything.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have Suarez. But
yeah, I think it's a silly idea in general.
But Australia, would you have Shane Van Gisbergen or
Gisbergen? But yeah, now
Canada,
that
we're definitely not going to have Lance Stroll or Devlin DeFrancesco. We're going to have friggin' Hinchcliffe. You're going to come back. You're going to race.
Now that we've been completely and utterly distracted, NASCAR race Saturday night.
Yeah, we were
Coke 0400.
We were watching this on your phone during a very long dirt late model race at Wayne County.
It does seem like every night they just fly through heats, fly through like at least the sprint main, this and that, and then we have one race, whether it be late models, modifieds, whatever, that just they can't get 3 laps in to save their lives.
Yeah, it was literally just green flag, caution, and it was all sorts of different cautions.
Yeah, I mean the one I
Y-
looked up and someone had jumped the green. Uh there was a couple, everyone was spinning out in turn 4 for some reason. I don't know why.
I think there was one, hit into the wall, like spun out into the wall, and I mean there was a sprint car that crashed into the wall, and I guess from what my parents said, because the family went, um, and it's my bad because I have never, it's been a really long time since I've sat in the grandstands of a dirt race, and I was like, oh yeah, it's not that dusty because I'm in the infield. It's not dusty in the infield often. Uh, so they were all like, okay, we'll go. And my mom hates dirt racing, hates it with a passion, and so they're all sitting there and they're texting me like, "Thanks, a hole. You didn't tell us we needed safety glasses." I was like, "Is it really that bad?" Like, and so we went over after the races, and there was like a layer of dust over
It
everything.
it was a little dusty Saturday night.
Yeah, it was. I didn't think it was gonna be dusty with how much rain we got
Yeah.
last week, but it was like Burning Man. It was just dust everywhere. Like there was a dust storm. So like the Dust Bowl came back and it was at Wayne County.
Yeah. But yes, we watched the race on my phone with me having wireless earbuds in and then grabbing Kyle, doing signs every time I needed to show him something on my phone because we're 20 feet apart with loud cars going by.
So I'm gonna show the first one you showed me. Is Ryan Blaney's crash, and for all you watching this, Chris, I don't think can see this, but it's
Oh, it
playing
actually
here.
it showed up this time.
Oh, that's cool. So it's going. When's it gonna happen? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, just a
Now,
hard straight hit into the wall.
yeah, I'm sure anyone on
Ooh.
social media or anything this week has seen the comparisons of that and Dale Senior's wreck. There's a lot of side by sides or up and downs like we're doing right now of Senior's wreck that eventually took his it instantly took his life, and this wreck Saturday night from Blaney. I mean, he was slow to get out of the car. I don't remember if you heard me or remember me saying, I was like, well, he won't be racing next week. That's a concussion.
So was he, and did he end up getting put on concussion
No,
protocol, or
no,
is he perfectly fine?
he's fine. I think he just was catching his breath and making sure he was, okay getting out because it's a head on right into the wall.
I mean, isn't a wreck like this one sort of like this what took basically has ended Kurt Busch's career?
Yeah. I mean, it
So
might have been he might have backed into the wall.
okay.
But yeah, it was and it was definitely a slower hit that Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman late last year. Alex Bowman missed a couple playoff races last year from concussion with a slower rear end impact into the wall.
So at least it looks like they've done some good work to
the things they've
limit the
done over the
concussions.
winter. I mean, in the wreck, you can see the front end fold in where last year it just would not. It did what it needed to do in the front there to limit those problems. But
yeah, I mean that was
a gnarly hit,
an insane crash. So we thought that was going to be
So
the most insane crash of the evening. And then we were unfortunately gifted this up on the screen for you now.
Now this is another time I had to like sign across the thing to get your attention.
No, we were both watching.
Oh, were we both watching?
We were both watching it. It was during a lengthy yellow flag period, and we were both watching it. And then it happened. I remember, very loudly yelling expletives. Every time you watch it, it just still
I wonder
is...
what we looked like sitting in the infield, both of us staring at my phone screen.
And people up in the stands probably were just, why are they huddling around that tire?
I mean, although if anyone at Wayne has paid attention, I think the last 3 or 4 times I've been to Wayne, whether it be with Joe or myself or you, I've put something on in the corner and watch it. The one time I went out by myself, me and the track worker were watching 360 Nationals or something on my phone in the corner.
I mean, every time I watch it, it just looks like a kid took one of the Hot Wheels things, and then you have the little rubber wheels, and then you put the car in there and it shoots it out. You have to put your big D batteries in there to shoot them, and like they shot it and it just went flying. It just
I mean, it hit that grass, and just a lot of the analysis of it I've seen this week is it just hit that grass, and the difference, it just took it over, and there was no stopping it once it went over. But again, with the safety, fortunately he was able to get out. He was taken to a local hospital, checked over, and that night he had tweeted something like, if you want to be a race car driver, you got to be damn tough. And it's like, well, I mean, he's a hardcore modified racer, and so he's been in the thick of it for years, and that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, it's always good to see guys walk away from big wrecks like that. And I think he was home that night holding his fresh-born baby too. So yeah, I mean, the race. What?
Oh, he was the one that his wife was going to give birth any day.
Yeah. Well, Dinger.
Or was that somebody else? Was it him?
That's Dinger.
Oh, okay. And he was the one that was like, the wife said that I can just stay and race.
Yeah. That.
I'm to the hospital after.
His wife, Allmendinger's wife, is like a former Miss North Carolina, like recently former Miss North Carolina, not like I was Miss North Carolina in 2015 or whatever. Like, no, she's model good looking.
I mean, that brings Busher up to quite a few wins this year.
3 wins. I mean, 3 of the last 5 wins. And let me say this: Brad Keselowski, number 1 team player, number 1 boss, pushing his teammate to the win and not leaving him in turn 4 to try and win for himself, but just pushing Chris to the victory and not letting, I think it was Eric Almirola was their worry back there, because Eric Almirola out of nowhere just has this breakout race, was in the top whatever, running order all day. It's hard to say on these super speedways, top 10 all day, because what line are you in that you're top 10?
Yeah.
Eric Almirola comes home 3rd in the race. But yeah, I mean, the big winners and losers for the playoffs, the big implications of the Daytona cutoff rates. And that's kind of why you see some of those big wrecks like we did, is you had in the top 10 4 or 5 guys trying to fight for a playoff spot. Eric Almirola running well, like I said, ran well all day. He needed a win to get in. You had Chase. He needed that win. Corey LaJoy, who runs really well on the restrictor plate tracks, all needing wins to get in, and it leads to big wrecks like we saw. Oh, Alex Bowman also he in 6th, but yeah, you have Chase and Alex, 2 Hendrick cars, not in the playoffs.
Which is absolutely crazy for Hendricks.
Yeah, I mean, you have Chase was out for 7 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and then Bowman was out, so
yeah, Bowman was out, I think, a month. So you have Chase in the Owners Championship now because of, fill-ins like Josh Berry, Corey LaJoy, and Jordan Taylor. Alex Bowman is just out. So I kind of predict Chase Elliott's going to come alive now in these playoffs. I was talking to somebody on Facebook that they commented on my Bowman pictures from a couple weeks ago, and it's like, yeah, too bad they missed it. But yeah, I told them, I was like, I foresee one or both of them just coming alive now in the playoffs because pressure's off. They don't have to get out there and win or secure those points. They don't have to pull a Watkins Glen move and try and pull a Scott Dixion out in a big, heavy NASCAR stock car and save and fuel more than anyone else to run long and pit and, blah, 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 blah. So I kind of foresee them being able to come alive in these playoffs and just dominate the whole thing.
Yes, I think they have okay, so we have 3 races, and then Bristol is when the next elimination.
Well, the elimination happens whatever the third race is. That would be
Bristol.
Is it Bristol? Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm looking at NASCAR right now because there's 4 drivers on the bubble.
Did you set your?
I have not yet, but I'm going to do that.
Damn you!
But Michael McDowell, Stenhouse, Harvick, and Wallace are all on the bubble.
See, I don't want to give you ideas because I'm real competitive. But yeah, I have on mine out. 3 of my outs are Stenhouse, McDowell, and crap. Now I'm gonna have to look at it. You can tell we've been going. Oh yeah, 45 minutes. They're starting to get a little riled up. Who did I have on mine? I don't. Do you do your fantasy on the app or on?
I do it on
the website,
the computer most of the time, but I don't know where it is for playoffs. Whoa, get the tractor off the screen.
It is NASCAR.com. Oh,
okay. Playoffs grid challenge.
Yeah.
Create an entry. I already have an entry. I have to create a new entry.
Yeah, I had to do. I had to change my password because the password that worked for my app didn't work, and it also did not save my thing. So cool, NASCAR. But yeah, out in the first round, I had Stenhouse. Okay. Stenhouse, McDowell, and Harvick. I think. Even though I would like to see Harvick go further, I don't think he just had SHR hasn't shown the speed or anything to advance. But
So how you just pick 12 drivers?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What I wanted us to do was
Is it you try to predict who's gonna be in what position?
yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't. I
Or
don't
is
even
it
know.
just doesn't matter? Or
I just picked the way I picked mine today. Oh, it does want it might want you to move them around. But the way I did mine today is I just picked I don't want you to see my picks.
I won't see it.
I
not
just
looking.
no, I just put mine over here in the pick the drivers I thought were going to be out. I can tell you, I don't actually care. I've got Blaney, McDowell, Stenhouse, and Harvick out of the first round.
Okay.
Because I don't think the Fords have shown, I don't think Blaney has shown much pace. McDowell, he was fast at those 2 road courses, but mistakes ended up taking him out of Watkins Glen. Stenhouse, he's had some good runs this year, but again, more back funder, middle of the pack team. And then Harvick, SHR just has not shown anything. He's a wily veteran that knows his way into these playoffs. But yeah, I had Bubba in because I think these are 3 of his stronger tracks coming up.
So who are your 4? Trying not to have the same 4.
I mean, you can have the same 4 because you don't want to lose because of that. Blaney, McDowell, Stenhouse, Harvick.
Okay.
So basically, the last 5 I moved.
I'm leaving Hamlin out.
Really?
Yeah.
See, little foreshadowing.
Is that a bad move?
What I'm just gonna say, my early predictions for the final 4, not with the playoffs having to do what the playoffs have to do. My early predictions it's going to be Hendrick Gibbs final 4 of Truex, Byron, Hamlin, Larson.
All right, you convinced me. My 4 drops are Reddick, McDowell, Stenhouse, and Harvick.
Okay.
So I don't know much about Reddick. I don't know. So that's who I'm gonna pick. So I have Byron, Truex, Busch, Larson, Bell, Chastain, Blaney, Logano, Keselowski, Wallace, and Hamlin.
Yeah, and then one other thing is we wrap NASCAR up, the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. Martin Truex Jr. was crowned regular season champ this past week. That's 30 bonus playoff points. So he's basically good through, I think, the final 4. He could almost be a lock into the...
See, what I wish is if at this point they just take and it's only these 16 cars for the rest of the season. Like if you didn't make it into the playoffs, you don't get to race these last couple races. That would be
it's
amazing.
10 races. It's a third of the season.
Yeah. Don't let the other ones race. Sorry, you didn't make it into the playoffs.
Okay, now we're going to get controversial because how not entertaining were some heat races where there's 5 cars in them. How competitive is a 5-car heat race?
Well, this is 16 cars. Or we do it 20 cars. 20 cars. That would be entertaining. And then they still can cut down or whatever. Or this crazy thing, we just get rid of the playoffs.
Well, yeah, you go back to full season
then
points.
You just make things actually matter. Because it does. You said Truex.
Yeah.
won the championship for the season, the regular championship. That's such BS that he can work his ass off this season. Him and Byron basically are the two that have the most wins, I think, out of anybody, and they work their ass off all season to go into this stupid 10 race playoffs and possibly lose the championship.
Well, yeah, but
What
the
is
nice thing
what
is
fair about that? This ain't football.
Byron and MTJ, they come in with a lot of points already, so they can kind of have a chance at it. Yeah, the one race to crown the champion is a little silly. I think they should go to 3 race, so the best of the last 3 wins.
Yeah, instead of just having Phoenix.
Yeah, and the fact that you have it at a boring track. But, I mean, the playoffs do make Bristol night race. That's going to be an extremely exciting race. That's the 16th. That's the cutoff for the first round. Charlotte Roval, usually a pretty exciting race because you've got the desperation. And then, Martinsville, you had the move heard around the world last year. So you do get some exciting things. And then Las Vegas. Vegas is going to be a pretty important one. That's the first in the round of 8 because you win Vegas. It locks you into the Final Four race, the Championship 4 race. And then you have 2 weeks to prepare for Phoenix.
So is it pretty much, if you win Darlington, you're locked in to the 12. If you win Kansas, you're locked into 12. So if you win one of the 3, you're locked into the next round.
Yeah.
And then so it's, whoever wins each of the 3 races in round of 8 gets into the 4, and then just whoever else has the highest points at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes off of wins and then highest, points and all that kind of. It's a very convoluted system a lot of the times. It's not just if you win, you're in. Well, this is, and we haven't had enough winners every year. We got close last year for just the playoffs in general. But yeah, a lot of the times it's.
To make it really interesting, if everyone came in with no points, clean slate for the next 10 races, and these people have
that just goes exactly off.
I know it goes against exactly what I was saying. But I mean, if you're gonna make it entertaining, make it super entertaining. Make them freaking gladiators fight to the death for points.
I don't know. I think the playoffs do get exciting. The last few years, those cutoff races have been super exciting.
Could you imagine if F1 brought this in, how pissed the teams would be? Max Verstappen would be like, I've won every race except for 2. Yeah. And you're saying that I don't get to be champion automatically? It is kind of sad that, next week or this weekend, we could know who the IndyCar champion is.
Yeah.
But
see, that's kind of the one of the problems with the season-long championship
which hasn't happened in a long time. Normally the IndyCar, normally people don't win a crap ton of races like Palou did, all in a row. Joseph Newgarden would have been really high up in the lead if they didn't change the double points.
Yeah.
The 500, that could have definitely changed a lot of things, because I'm not sure where Palou finished in the 500, but that would have changed up some stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is better. It makes it a little bit more entertaining than having double points for one race.
Yeah, but it's the 500.
It is the 500. I respect the 500 now. Back in April and May, I was dogging on the 500, and then I watched it, and then I went to IMS, and now I'm like, oh, okay.
Now I
Yeah, I
understand
understand now. Now I want to go.
it.
I can't even. I wouldn't even know how to get around that place in the month of May. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah,
has
I
just
mean-
got to be the most jam packed. Like, how do you even move?
Yeah.
How do you, as a photographer, even get through to the photo holes?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it's almost like I've thought about it. It's almost like you'd have to just like assign times.
Yeah,
There's a line of you're allowed 2 laps or whatever.
just getting to them would be hell.
Oh,
With
yeah.
how many people is there, and and now you would have to walk all the way to the other side of the golf course.
Yeah.
No
thanks.
hitchhike a ride on a golf cart or something.
Yeah, maybe they run the media shuttle to the other side then.
That would be nice if they did, because that's definitely a long walk.
Yeah.
I think they were running it to the museum, so if you were going to that side, wasn't as far of a walk. Oh, there's Felix.
I was sitting close and got almost inside of my mouth there.
Oh God, no.
I was sitting closer to my desk this week, so he sat most of the time under my legs, scratching my legs, trying to get me to move the chair.
Love me.
But yeah, it's 7:00 is dinner time.
So, do we have any predictions for this weekend for NASCAR and IndyCar?
NASCAR, Kyle Larson.
All right, Chris picks Larson. I am going to pick. I'm gonna pick Byron.
Oh, Hendrick versus Hendrick.
And then for IndyCar, Portland. I don't really know anything about Portland. Let's do some inside here. Let's see who won last year.
Cheater.
I'm still giving you this information. It's not cheating.
I was looking up the same thing. No, I don't want ticket details.
Portland. Scott McLaughlin. I'm gonna go with. Let's go with Newgarden, just because I want him to win. So
I think Polo locks it up this weekend.
Hot take from Chris. Polo takes the championship this weekend. We will see. I mean, I should have picked Scott Dixion because I really want him to win a 7th.
Yeah.
Just so he can be close enough to going on to an 8th, possibly.
But only win a 7th.
Yeah. That would be insane if Scott Dixion won his 7th this year and then won the 8th next year and is like the first one to get there out of all of these champions in all these different motorsports. That would be freaking awesome.
Oh, anything else? Because it's we've been going long when Ramona comes up and starts to bug me.
Yeah, I will be watching the race Sunday at the campground. I think I'm taking a TV so I can watch it on a bigger screen than my phone.
I'll be at the track watching it again.
Yeah, you'll be from the infield watching racing.
Oh, crap. I might. They're probably on at the same time.
Oh, NASCAR and IndyCar?
Yeah.
Oh.
IndyCar 3:00.
Oh, NBC's double booking?
It's so weird that they'll do that. And oh no, Darlington doesn't start till 6:00 this week.
Oh, dang. Is it a night race then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't think that NBC would overlap themselves.
Well, I mean,
They
these
can't.
first 4 races are on USA, so.
Oh. Ugh.
And then big NBC to finish off the year, so.
So again, we hit this up at the top of the show, but if you would like to support the show, buymeacoffee.com/fromtheinfield. It's actually slices of pizza on there because we both love pizza. And support us on all social media at From the Infield at Ohio Motorsports, and check us out online at fromtheinfield.com, motorsportsohio.com. And we will see you next week. We'll see if Chris was right about Alex Palou and how close the playoffs are getting with NASCAR. So that's all for us today. We'll see you next time.
See you later.